I grew my company to 500K a month in less than 20 months, and to prove that it wasn't luck, I scaled using the same protocol for other companies, growth agencies, and growth consulting businesses to 100K a month using the same protocol. And in this video, I'd like for you guys to walk you through the 3 steps that I had to implement in these businesses, or at least leverage and introduce in their companies in order for them to be able to go from nothing past 100 grand a month in revenue. The 4 companies that we helped were, the first one was a TikTok agency in the e-commerce space. The second one was a coaching business, helping people with growing their company. So it was like a growth coaching business. The third one was an appointment setting agency where you would actually place talent in the organization, so more like a recruitment agency. And the last one was in the SaaS space. Now, the first thing that we did, which was step 1, and we always do this with every company, we like to find trends in the niche. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but one of the fastest ways to grow a company is to leverage trends. It's to ride trends. So as an example, when we worked with this client who was running a TikTok agency, the first thing that we did was, hey, you should stop running a Facebook ad agency. You should stop doing Snapchat ads for e-commerce brands. Start leveraging TikTok offer, but most importantly, start selling UGCs. I think UGCs, for those who don't know, is user-generated content. Back then, I think it was around end of 2021, beginning of 2022, the trend was going crazy. And then we saw that trend, helped the client to build an offer around the trend. And guys, this client went from 0 to $60,000 a month in 7 weeks, which was insane, right? This client before had not been able to scale past, maybe the most he had ever made was 25 grand a month, but helped them get to 60K per month. So leveraging trends is super, super important. And the way that we find trends in other industries, so if you're doing a coaching offer, or if you're helping SaaS, or if you're doing appointment setting, we like to find influencers or thought leaders in your niche who are creating content. And we like to go on YouTube and simply click on, hey, what is the most popular video? And we find the most popular video in the last few months or in the last year. And whatever is the most popular video, we create an offer around that topic, because that means that the niche is looking for answers around that topic. So that's a pretty good insight for you guys to leverage. So if you're currently not sure what should be your messaging, what should be the thing that you're solving for your market, then go on YouTube, go on a thought leader's channel, find the most popular video and create an offer around that, okay? Or at least a messaging around that. The second thing we do for these businesses is build client acquisition infrastructures. Most people make the mistake of relying on paid ads alone, make the mistake of relying on appointment setters alone, or on automations like cold emails on Instantly, and think that that's the thing that's gonna make them an extra 20 grand, 100 grand a month. It doesn't work like that, guys. You need a complete infrastructure. Now, for us, what does that infrastructure look like? We have content on the front end, free content, value, solving the pain through information. That normally gets us a lot of attention. And then the next thing we do is we actually take a really important, I call it a value and belief shifting VSL. We put it on a funnel. We put an opt-in. We ask for name, email, phone number, and then we set up an automation so that every person who opts in, a trigger is sent on Discord or Slack for our client. We have an paid ad lead and organic leads too. So we build this funnel for the organic so they can put it in their bio and all their profiles, but we also run paid ads to the same funnel, but only we kind of like segment them. Organic leads, organic opt-ins, and then paid ads opt-ins. Now, what this does is it allows us to build an appointment setting team that is meant to convert and set appointments and nurture every single lead that opts in less than 5 to 10 minutes. We reach out to them. This has been magnificent. We get 30 to 40% reply rate from every single leader that opts into this training. We don't like to do so much like relying on like cold outreach, because we've realized that like for you to get the same results you would get on a funnel like this where you're getting opt-ins, if you're trying to get the same volume of quality leads or responses, you need to do 10 times the work. So it's not worth it. So we actually don't like to rely on cold outreach anymore. We used to do it a lot, but we actually just prefer putting our assets out there and then letting people who are interested opt in, and then we only outreach to interested prospects. So content, valuable content, you put it on a funnel in exchange for the value. They give you their information. Then you have an appointment sitting on the back end that is converting these leads into appointments, and then you have a closer who's closing the deals. This works like a charm, right? Like it's beautiful, it's peaceful. You don't have to do all the hustling. You're just giving people what they want, and then they give you their information, and then you can try to convert these people afterwards, right? Now, the last part, this is the most interesting one, which is their offer. and what they actually sell to these people is the most important part. You will not scale to 100 grand a month, 100 grand a week by being a commodity, by selling, oh, I'm going to coach you on how to make 10K per month. Like that will work. But if you don't have a brand, forget it. If you're in the SaaS space and you're just telling people, hey, I'll get you users, forget it. If you're in a TikTok agency and you're like, hey, I'll just spend money on ads only to get you like sales on your brand page or in your e-commerce site, that's a commodity. Okay, what you want to do is you want to build what I call build and release offers. Instead of selling TikTok UGC, as an example, like, hey, pay me and then I'll get you some content from user-generated content. Instead of going to SaaS companies and being like, hey, I'll generate you leads or people interested in your software or demo calls. Instead of going after a specific industry and being like, hey, I'll coach you on how to build a 10K a month agency. Or instead of being like, hey, I'll book appointments for you. What we like to do is we build infrastructures that solve the problem for good. As an example, for e-com, you would build them UGC infrastructure, meaning you will build an infrastructure that helps them source the creator, that help them craft the content and a content management system. And then someone potentially, preferably, place a talent, maybe a VA, who will make sure that they're sourcing the people, vetting the prospect or the creators, and then taking care of the whole system. If you're in the coaching space, instead of coaching people and starting an SMMA, you will build them the offer, you will build them a client acquisition infrastructure, you will build them maybe a sales process and maybe potentially help them find a closer. And then the next thing you would probably need to do is also help them with fulfillment. If you're in SaaS, you will need to help people find product market fit. You will need to help them create content around their software. You will need to help them change their pricing if they actually want to scale through ads. And then you want to also help them build their client acquisition infrastructure, paid ads, appointment setters, maybe a Facebook group, and so forth. Now, why are we doing all this work? Why do all this work instead of just selling appointment setters or instead of just selling TikTok ads? Because everybody's already doing that. You don't charge a lot more money by doing what everybody else is doing. This build and release infrastructure, when a prospect get on a sales call, at least when they got on a sales call with these businesses that we scaled, they'll be like, oh my God, I've never been given this offer before. And the perceived likelihood of success is like 100%, because you're not telling them that you're going to spend money on ads and hopefully make money. You're like, hey, I will build the infrastructure and the process and the systems that will make it inevitable for you now to bridge where you're at to where you need to be inevitable. That's the thing that allowed me to go from charging and also allowing these clients from being stuck under 10, 20K, 30K, 50K a month to being able to scale over 7 figures a month. They were selling offers that were sophisticated instead of being just like everybody else. So if you're interested in scaling past 7 figures and above and beyond, then I highly suggest find a trend, set up the client acquisition infrastructure, content, reach out to the opt-in. And then the last thing is sell, build, and release offers. Sell infrastructures, do not sell commodity services. So this is what I did. I've also personally grown a cold email department to 100K a month. I've grown an appointment setting, recruitment, and placement business to 100K a month. I've also scaled a paid ads agency to 100K a month. Scaled client acquisition.io to 600 grand a month from understanding these ideas. If you would like to learn more on how to scale past 100K per month and by offering infrastructures instead of selling commodity services and retainers, how to build an audience for this offer, and how to build your client acquisition infrastructure, and how to also fulfill on this build and release offer, which is the growth creator model, you can click the link below, join the Not Your Boring Leader community. It's just $49 a week, and you'll get access to 12 hours of content where I break down step by step how I would do it. And I also created a 170-page doc to guide you through the transition. But I promise you that if you do not make this transition out of being a commodity and into being someone who's like inevitable, who's like invaluable for businesses, then you will struggle, and the path to getting wealthy is going to be a long one and a hard one. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.